Hey, Waffles. What's up, Waffles? What's up, Waffles?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We can cut now. All right. What's up, Waffles? I'm Aaron.
I'm Sam.
This is our very first episode of There We Are Then.
Podcast where we're going to kind of talk about making connections between various groups of people, both locally and hopefully in the future on a larger scale. But more than just making connections, also the, paths that we've been on and some of the paths that we're trying to get to. And, part of it is healing, part of it is growth. And so that's kind of...
We're both veterans.
Yeah.
We're both in various parts of our mental health path, a recovery path. It is a recovery path. So in this first episode, we're just going to kind of introduce ourselves and talk about where we've been and why we're on this journey. And then I guess the next episode, we'll get firing.
Yeah, we'll start firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, probably not, because we don't fire on all cylinders to begin with, but...
At least 4 out of 8.
I'll go for 3. So I'm A.A. Ron. I was in the Army for 16 years. I was in the reserves for 12 of that. I was a forward observer, and then I became a military police officer. And I did that in the civilian side as well for a number of years. And then I went to the fire academy and became a firefighter medic. And I was a firefighter medic in and around Cincinnati for the better part of 10, 12 years. And then I went to GE Aerospace.
Yeah.
I left the service life to go into the corporate service life. Right? I did public safety for GE Aerospace for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to Northern Michigan. Right? COVID hit. It was the great time. My parents had retired to way north up by Mackinac,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed some help. So my former wife and I sold our houses and moved back up here. We had separated, and we were going to try one more time.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved up here together and started life up here, right? And it was good. I'd been in therapy down in Cincinnati. I was doing the work.
Doing the work.
Or at least saying I was doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to therapy. I was talking to somebody, but going to therapy and talking to somebody and then doing the work and putting it into effect outside of that is a completely different issue. And I was not doing that. I had my group, and they were kind of my therapy group, right?
Mm-hmm.
My brothers, the firehouse, work, whatever. When we moved up here, I didn't have that. And I was 8 hours away from my support group,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have a support group up here other than my former spouse, my kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I went down the dark path, right? Things got real dark and almost unrecoverable, right? To me, it was unrecoverable. And so I went down that path, and it's not a good path.
Mm-hmm.
I made a plan and then started enacting that plan and got to the point of where it was go time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to take my paddleboard. I had my go bag,
Mm-hmm.
and I had gotten into, an argument with my former the night before, and that was it. It was the normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was so dark, I just could not see anything above or below anymore. I
Yeah.
had my shovel. I'm at the bottom of the trench and I'm digging deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody could tell me to stop because you don't freaking know, right?
Yep.
And I tried to commit suicide. Uh, if it weren't for her calling the police and getting them involved, I would not be here today. That took me down that path. But, in that moment, I was given another option. Right. And we'll talk about that later down the road. But, 911 is the number to call.
Yes.
But you have to understand what's going to happen to somebody on the other side of that. It ain't the greatest. You're in a dark spot already.
Yeah.
And you're going to be in a darker spot, but you're going to be alive. And that's the difference, right? So I was presented with this wall of law enforcement officers.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing what I know, knowing the way that I operate, the training that I have, I picked the weakest link immediately. And probably the only reason I'm here is because I hesitated that half a beat too long, right? I pulled out my knife and was deciding on whether I was going to charge the weakest link, right? And as soon as I produced the knife, they produced their weapons. I knew who was going to pull the trigger first. So it was, does the knife go into my neck or do I charge the officers? And in that half a beat, they made the decision. 2 tasers. You ain't fighting anymore.
No.
Spent a week in the hospital after that and started my path of recovery. And the other side of it is, it's stark. It's such a different world on the other side that you're almost thrust into the counterculture.
Okay.
I mean, just because of the way that it went down, I was a criminal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Automatically, which isn't helpful,
No.
but it's the way that it goes. And once that was taken care of, that took a time to get that taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But I had started therapy with the VA and found a great therapist and was doing the work and putting in the work.
Actually doing the work.
Doing the work.
Yeah.
Right? Saying the things and doing the things. And a lot of that became incompatible in my relationship in my former marriage. And a lot of that was because of the way I was in my relationship, right? That's down the road talk, but
Yeah.
there's abuse that happens there. There's abuse that happened before I was married. And so it was just a natural thing. And on the other side of it, I'm here. So everybody who's wondering where I went, I'm in the north and I'm alive, right? Good things.
Yes. Both great things.
And I've been hiding out up here because of the shame, right? There is an unbelievable amount of shame, even 4 years later. So I attempted on July 14th, 2021.
Okay.
I'm coming up on my 4th year anniversary, and I understand the amount of work that I have done, but there's still that amount of shame that comes with, you almost tapped out,
Yeah.
you little bitch, right? And that's not it at all, right? There is no little bitch component to it.
No.
It's just your brain isn't functioning with this stuff the way that it should be. And because of the way that you've lived and because of the life that you've had, it affects you in a different way. It doesn't make you weak.
No.
It just makes you different in a unique way that somebody else isn't unique.
Your brain chemistry functioned in a certain way to get you there. So, and I I understand that.
right?
Yeah.
One of the things that my therapist regularly tells me is that, you know, you're 46 years old. It took 46 years of programming that we're going to have to undo, right? You may never get to the other end of it. That's a lot of time,
Yeah.
right? But you can be better and you can be happy
Yep.
and you can move forward in your life realizing that now is now, the past is back there. You can look at it and it lives back there.
You can't change it.
It's not really alive. It's
Yeah.
already in the past and dead. You can't change it. So move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of the way I do it now. I just kind of live my life like tomorrow is not promised because it sure as hell isn't promised. I'm grateful for every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for the people in my life, even if they come in for a moment
And then
and
yeah.
then disappear. I can take away from that, right? I'm learning that lesson. And it's a beautiful life to live. And if I can get more people on this path, then that's my goal in life.
No,
Right.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm working a retail job that is unfulfilling. I've worked a very fulfilling career my entire life, helping people. It's all been for the service of others, and that is not what we do now.
No.
It is so far from what we do now. But there are moments inside of it that happen that, allow me to say, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'm here for this. Maybe I'm here for this reason. Maybe I'm here to talk to this person.
Yeah.
And the people I've met, I wouldn't change it for the world. I've had my experiences and I am here where I am today because of my experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do any of them a different way.
That's fair.
Even in the darkest of the dark, I wouldn't do it a different way because on the other side, the education and what I know, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and it's brought you to a point where not only are you, knowledgeable about that, but you can take that knowledge, pass it on, and help people on the journey that hopefully we reach and the people that you meet in your everyday life.
Right.
You know?
And I've been trying to do that, right?
Yeah.
I've applied for the VA. I've applied to do like the peer work and do that. And it's such a difficult thing to get into, right? It's almost like you're not wanted there. They need you there, but you're not wanted there.
It's especially becoming difficult
Well,
in our current climate, but again, non-political.
Right.
Not making a political statement on anything. It's just our current political climate with the things that are trying to be done. You had made it through what, the first and second round?
I did. I was basically waiting for them to call me for the final interview, and then hopefully a job offer.
Yeah.
But after the election, all of those
Everything got canceled. Yeah.
They're coming back.
Yep.
Slowly but surely, they are coming back, right? The overreaction is undoing itself to a point, and hopefully that may open up. But until then, I'm here with you, talking to them about this shit.
Yeah.
And they don't want my help. That's fine.
You're going to find another way.
I'll find another way to help, right?
Yeah, that's that service.
That's that service.
Yep.
And I'm excited, dude. This is like, I can't wait. Even if we were put at that same crappy job just to meet each other,
Yeah.
here we are today.
Worth it.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
And so I welcome you on our journey, on my journey, on Sam's journey. And, tell me about you.
All right. Well, as a young man, I shouldn't even say young man, as a kid, I very early on wanted to do something that helped. As a kid, I wanted to be a firefighter or a garbage man. Both are service service jobs that help your community.
Both are cool.
Yeah, figured out that becoming a firefighter was not going to be the path for me. I had some irrational fears that I couldn't get over as a young man, and so I joined the Coast Guard shortly after 9/11, and I did over 21 years. Um, During my time in, I primarily worked at what we call small boat stations, which operate a lot like a firehouse. You know, we worked 48 on, 48 off every other weekend. You're on call the whole time you're there, so there are going to be really easy light days that you get super bored and you get sick of just being there. But then there are going to be, times where you are getting, you're getting tone, you're getting the SAR alarm goes off repeatedly. And then I also did the counter narcotics mission for a long time while I was in. And yeah, that was pretty much it. During the course of my career, I got to see a lot of things that, most of most people don't see. People in first responder jobs, which is really what my job was, get to see a lot of. And, like everybody in that first responder field and in the military, I'm thumbs up, I'm fine. Everything's good. I don't have a problem. Any of my people, anybody I worked with that that I could see were struggling with things, man, let's get you the help you need. Let's get you where you need to go. But me, I'm too big thumbs up. Nothing's wrong. And then one day, late in my career, I started having panic attacks. Never had one before in my life. Didn't quite know what was going on. And then I found myself, got 4 kids, and my 3 boys were playing. They weren't doing anything. They weren't breaking any rules. They were being a little noisy. And I found myself screaming at them, like irrationally enraged, screaming at them. And I was like, oh, right in the middle of it, I stopped, recognized, oh my God, I have a problem. I am the problem. Like my kids are scared of me right now because I'm screaming at them because they were playing. So I apologized, walked away, and then finally took the advice I'd been giving out to a lot of my people. Made a phone call and got myself dialed in to go talk to someone. And it's really funny when you tell people you might have PTSD. They give you these papers that they want you to fill out, like how do you feel? What do you feel about this? And again, that mentality of I'm fine really is all encompassing and pervasive. And so I really marked myself really low. And at the time, the Coast Guard was making a huge push to really bring the mental health aspect of care into making it a regular thing. Because if you broke your arm, you're going to go to the doctor and get it fixed, right? You get a concussion, you're going to go to the doctor, get it fixed. PTSD, having a mental health crisis, all of those things, they're just the same. But for so long, there's been a stigma of you're weak,
Well, there still is the stigma.
True. And that stigma really prevents a lot of people who need help, who can continue to serve, continue to do the things that they do at a high level, but need that help so that level doesn't taper. And that level doesn't get to a point where they're ruining their relationships outside of work, where they're, alienating their family, their friends, freaking out in public places. Happiest place on earth is old, Mouseland, right?
Yeah.
That is a nightmare. To this day, going there is a nightmare to me. I would rather do almost anything in the world than go there. So large public events, if there's a lot of people or noise, bothers the heck out of me. So, and I know a lot of vets and people who are still in, people who are combat vets, people who are first responders who have this, and you can still do your job and get this help at the same time, and it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than. It's going to actually make you better, more resilient,
Absolutely
stronger.
contrary, right?
Yeah.
It's giving you that ability to become combat effective again.
Yes.
Be battle effective again.
Yeah.
Be road effective. Be call effective again.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it was the last year of my career when I finally acknowledged that I was having an issue, and went and started getting help. And it has been it's been a path back. I only recently started using SSRI for the depression side, and then use another anti-anxiety medication. And I wish, looking back, I wish that I had started them a decade ago.
Right.
I would be in a much different mental health space in my life. I'd be much more able to be present in places, not worried about the future, not categorizing everything, all the things that we have exceptional training on doing, but that don't really apply all the time. You don't need to have them apply all the time, and they don't need to rule your life. So
I used to laugh about calling out the critical incident stress
CISM, yeah,
debrief team, right?
For us, it was critical incident stress management team.
Yeah. Calling them out.
Yeah, I
We're
don't
not calling them out.
The crew might need them. I'm good. I'll sit in with them.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll make sure that they're doing the things. I'm good.
Yes.
2 big thumbs up. And that's, when you do a job where you're pulling body parts out of the ocean, or, on a rig or on a boat, pulping a human's chest for 45 minutes to an hour because the flight surgeon isn't going to give you green light to call it. Right? Like those things, those images, those actions, they do take a toll on you.
Yes, they do.
And it's usually not a visible toll.
No.
It's a psychological one. And so those things kind of, I did not take advantage of the help that was being offered because I'm good, I'm tough, I'm trained for this, I'm good to go. And here's the thing. In the middle of a mission, I was good to go. I was A-okay.
Oh, absolutely.
In the middle of chaos is where I felt comfortable. And it was when the chaos stopped. That's when all of those things start coming back. And so, yeah, looking back on it, I wish that I had started sooner. And like you talked about, I have an unbelievable level of shame. And the fact that I'm not strong enough. Right? There's a part of me, it's that dichotomy, right? Like there's a part of me that is like, man, this is helping you so much. You are in such a better place in your life now by doing these things. And then there's the other side that goes, you're a fucking pussy. How could you have to fucking do this? You're pathetic. You're weak. Like and there's this weird shame that goes with it. And that's a constant battle for me, to even now, right? Like I'll wake up in the morning, go do my stuff, take my pill, and I'll sit there and look at it. And I'll be like, do I need this? And then, the more reasoned part of me that's like, yeah, look at how much better you're doing. Yeah, fuck yeah, take that.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot, and then I'll do it.
Right.
And that's pretty much every day.
Right.
But that shame is bullshit. It's your brain. It's you. No one around you is going to think you're weak. And if they do, they're pieces of shit. In my opinion. And I'm not pointing at Aaron for that. I was just kind of like giving the thumb.
Oh, no. I'm right there with you, right? For me, a lot of it is I was married or I was with my former spouse for 23 years,
Okay.
and I couldn't make that work, right? And I'm the piece of shit. I know that because I was told I'm the piece of shit, right? And even now today, I know that that would be a bad situation to go back into. I know that that would be like,
Destructive.
it would be destructive.
Yeah.
And a lot of me is like, but you could make it work. You just have to do all the things that she wants you to do, the way that she wants you to do them, how she wants you to do them,
yeah.
how she wants you to do them.
You couldn't be you.
And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's not me changing to be better. That's me changing to fit somebody else's definition of how I am better.
Yeah.
And I did that for 23 years and still never met that definition of what better is. Even in these last years, on my mental health journey, even though she was the one that triggered it, that really, like, you're going to get the help you need.
Whether you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
And I know that was an act of love. I will never deny that that was an act of love.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely an act of love. But on the other side of that, it was, well, you're the problem. You're the issue. You. Well, yes, I understand this. Yeah. And that's why I'm in therapy. And that's why I'm talking to them and going through these things and doing the work. However, you keep coming up as part of the issue and one of the problems. And for me to be better and for me to be happy and healthy and to move forward, we can't be together.
Yeah, it's not a one-way street.
We could be really, really great friends. But that communication has never been there. Even when we went to like marriage counseling, it was that communication isn't there. And because we're two stubborn people, we automatically reverted back to the way we communicate, which isn't. Right? So now, yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
And Walbert.
The little fella.
The little fella. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, maybe one day we'll get some images up of.
Oh, well, absolutely.
Of the little fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get some up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a wild sort of ride, and the thing of going into this retail job that we both work. I don't know about you. I know why I chose it. So I wanted to do something as far removed, like escape is really what it was. I wanted to run away and escape from having to do that, from being
Heard.
Yeah, like I wanted nothing to do with my former career, something that I was good at, but I had no desire to do anything with that. I wanted the complete opposite. And I will say this, it is the complete opposite. I'm responsible for one thing, one person, and it's me. And then, but the thing that I feel like looking at it objectively, that I'm missing, that really, that helped me even when I was having my panic attacks and at the part of my life where the PTSD was completely unmanaged, unregulated, and unacknowledged by me.
Right.
My wife saw it. She was regularly, you need to get help. You need to talk to someone. You need to get help. I'm fine. The one thing that really helped me hold everything together was I had a mission, right? And that mission gave you a sense of fulfillment, gave you a sense of, I'm doing something. And, you clearly have a lifetime of service. I've dedicated the bulk of my life to being of service. So helping people really, fulfills that sort of need, right?
Yes.
Call it what you want, look at it however you want, but that was something that is still to this day important to me. And having a mission, I didn't realize, I thought that I had a mission when I got out, when I retired. I thought my family's my mission now. And man, I was terrible. I was not good at that mission. Um, and so finding something else is kind of where I'm at with that, right? Like this feels very much like an opportunity to help again,
Yes.
to provide a service, to have something. And for those of you who are, active duty, reserve, guard, or
Police,
first responder,
fire,
police, fire, EMS,
dispatcher.
dispatch, anyone who is in a position where they are responding to a crisis or potential crisis or listening to a crisis or interacting even tangentially with it.
Nurses, doctors.
Yeah. All of us have a mission, right? We all have a guiding mission that we strive towards. And when that's gone, it can leave you foundering. And I foundered. I've been trying to figure it out. I'm unbelievably grateful that I met you at our
Right?
lowly retail job.
Yeah.
It's been unbelievably helpful. And to use the modern parlance, I know I trauma dump with you sometimes.
I definitely trauma dump with
Yeah.
you.
So
And now we're going to trauma dump with you.
yeah, and that's kind of how I got here. And your idea to do this really, I mean, it almost galvanized a feeling in me that I'd been missing since I got out in 2023.
Right.
So,
And when I moved to Northern Michigan, I had every intention of starting my own business. Right. Learning woodworking and starting a woodworking business, and then the price of wood shot through the roof. And then a possible distillery, right?
okay.
I know tons about it and could have gone with it, but that wasn't the mission. And we've talked about this outside of this sphere, but
Yeah.
this is one of the first times in my life that I have started something and started progressing down the path and not had hurdles. Not hurdles that couldn't be overcome.
Yeah.
It almost feels like it's supposed to be happening. Almost like we should be here talking and getting
Sharing with you guys.
right, because we're not okay.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of us
That are not okay.
that are not okay.
And
And one of the things that hit me was I was sitting in an appointment at the VA with my psychiatrist and my former, and my psychiatrist is now looking at her and giving her information and pamphlets on PTSD. She's a trauma nurse, has been a trauma nurse since basically she graduated nursing school. And one of the things that brought us up here was medevac, right? She was a medevac nurse. And my psychiatrist was like, you might have a touch of this stuff too. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you do, huh? Maybe you're fucked like me.
and it's yeah. I mean, anyone in that sort of sphere,
Right.
like I know they tell therapists, psychiatrists, like you need to see someone. You should be, and I really hope that if nothing else, that what we're doing can help move that needle
Yes.
towards normalcy,
Yes.
towards everyone being
It's not a crutch.
no, and it is
It's a necessity.
just like standard medical care for your body, for every other part of your body, it's no different than what's going on inside. So yeah, I hope that what we can do together is get information out there, get you know, get that ball rolling. Try and help move that needle, no matter how little it is. If we can move it a millimeter,
That's more than
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, and that'll be enough for me,
Right.
you know. And I hope during the course of our time together that we can talk to people who are also having issues like us, but not just like that. I mean,
Oh, it's tough for everybody right now.
the world in
right?
general, like, I mean, people
Like,
who've never been in a situation like us, who've never been in that sphere of
don't
first,
have that training, don't have that
yeah,
mindset, don't have the coping mechanisms or the family that brings with it.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
oh yeah,
The family that it brings with it.
the built-in support network that you
Correct.
almost have,
Yep.
you know, to help, you know, again, it's not going to fix it, but man, that station crew, that you know, that fire team, that, and any which way you break it down, you've got a core group that you're with that's built in. But there's so many people that are out in the wind,
Yep.
that are by themselves, that or are in a situation where no one knows how to deal with it, doesn't know how to be a part of a support network, or
Has never had that support network to begin with.
yeah,
Right?
and
Since childhood.
yeah,
And that's easy to believe, right?
yeah,
That's easy to know because we were a generation that was left the fuck alone.
Gen X, yeah, and some of those elder millennials, you know,
Yeah.
still latchkey kids, and then, you know, I mean,
So realizing that, basically the American dream isn't what we were told it is. How are people being successful,
yeah,
right?
how are you navigating?
And we have the coping mechanisms. That's why we're in therapy and
Yeah,
on medicines and
yeah,
broken and all of those things,
yeah,
right? We have the coping tools
yeah,
and we're still fucked up.
yeah, and
So if you don't have those coping tools, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
yeah,
And we're here, right? It's not just servicemen, it's not just fire, it's not just the first responders,
No.
but how are you being successful in today's journey, knowing that the measure of success,
that goalpost keeps getting
it keeps
moved.
getting moved.
Yeah,
Even as you're reaching to grab it,
it
it's
gets,
getting moved.
yeah,
And success looks different. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it.
let's talk about it, absolutely. And I mean, that's hopefully, you know, again, getting that's why, you know, when we first started talking today, it's about not just that sphere that we know, that we lived, but it's that local community, and then hopefully we can just expand that community out to a greater and greater distance and audience, and incorporate as many people as we can into this, to try to move the needle positively for everyone.
Right.
Not just the sphere that we operated in, not just the kind of people that we know, but everyone. Being able to do that, I think, would be huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? I came with this idea of starting the podcast, and there's going to be times where it's going to be just you and I, right? And those are hour-ish episodes.
Yeah.
But we'll be bringing in guests,
Yep.
bringing in people that we know, people that have been in the situations that we have been, people that have never been near those situations, and people who are out there to fix it, right?
Yeah. That would. Yeah.
So if you are watching this and you are one of those people that are helping veterans or helping others through mental health recovery,
Yeah.
just reach out. We'd love to talk to you.
Yep. You can hit us at
there we are then 25@gmail.com for now.
For now.
For now.
Yeah. And as that changes, as we may progress into the social media sphere, we'll make sure that you guys are aware of those things as well.
Links will always be down in the butter box.
Yeah.
Right next to that subscribe button, right next to that like button. And yeah, we welcome you, and we're ready to take this journey
With all of you.
with all of you. And hopefully the invisible hands that are surrounding us all, we can actually reach out and feel those and realize that they're there to help us and not to hold us down.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's I think that pretty much sums it up.
Right? So there we are then.
There we are then.
And we love you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us for this first show. Many more to come.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next time.
I'm Sam.
I'm Aaron. This is There We Are Then.